Hi everybody. Today we're going to make a website using just either text edit or Notepad. I think we've worked out the kinks, so this particular tutorial is for those who are working with Windows, those who do not make it past HTML Basics 3. We're going to go ahead and stick to tables and allow you to make a website using the knowledge that you have gathered thus far. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and I'm going to, let me see here. I'm going to close this right now. This is what the code is going to look like. Do not panic. We'll go through everything. But let's, I'll go ahead and close it and we shall begin. First, what you want to do is right click on your desktop and hit new folder, and you need to make this folder your last name. Mine would be Cockrell, and then space website. Okay, that's where we're going to keep everything in there. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of my photographs and stick them in there. I'll have photographs already ready for you that will go along with this tutorial that you can use, and I want you to go ahead and use those photographs for this tutorial, and then you can replace them once you've got everything in place on your website. These are the files that you will be making. You're going to have 4 different links, and then you'll be making the web pages for them, but it's super easy. Once you make one, then you just save the existing page as for 3 different other names, and it will and then you change the content in each name. So for instance, under each page, let's see, so for instance this one looks the same as this one, contact me, and then this would be my about page. Here's my home page, but basically all of this stays the same. You just save it several times and then naming them something different, and then you just have to change this the action in here. Okay, so let's go ahead here, and so you've made this, and I've dragged in a couple photographs. So what we're going to do first is we want to open up either text edit or Notepad, depending on if you're a Mac or PC. I'm going to open up text edit on this, and we're going to go in here and click right there, and you want to save it into you're going to save it into your new folder. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, and you want to name this index.html, the old standby, and make sure you save it into that folder. Make sure if you're a Mac that you don't have this checked. That's super important. And then hit Save, and you'll know it's in .html because it has a little icon there that looks like one of the web browsers. Like for instance, mine will default to Chrome. So let's start. First, you're going to put in your doc type. We remember this, don't we? In all caps, and then in lower caps HTML. Okay, that will announce the browser that this is indeed an HTML page. Go ahead and save it, Apple S or Command S or Control S if you're a PC. And then let's begin. What do we start off with? HTML tag. Let's go ahead and go down here and put some spaces there, and the end tag. All good tags have end tags. There are only 3 cases in which we don't have an end tag. And so let's go ahead, and what do we put in there? Head. So go ahead and with me, I'm going to put in a /head to end that tag, to end that section. And let's go ahead and put in a title. And we're going to name this your first name. Mine is Kelly's. And then I'm going to say Kelly's super cool website. Probably capitalize that. Okay, /title always, and then we just need to leave that there for now, and we need to go in and underneath the end head tag we need to do a beginning body tag, and let's go ahead and give some spaces there. So lots of action going to take place in between those two. Okay, so /body tag. So in this, what we want to do is we're going to go on ahead and create our table. So in that table, we need to begin all tables announcing that we're going to make a table, right? That's pretty standard stuff, isn't it? Slash table. Hey, browser, we're going to make a table. That's what you want to do. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. So then what we want to do, though, is we want to tell it a couple of things. Let's see. We want it to be a specific type of table, but what we want to do is go ahead and let's begin with putting our title of our web page in there. But what we want to do is first announce that there's a table row. I'm going to go ahead and put a tab in there so it makes for easy coding. You don't have to. It doesn't matter, but it makes for being able to see it easily. So we put in a table row. I'm going to put an enter sign and then put another tab and I'm going to do my TDs. But in this first one, I want to go ahead and tell it to span across a certain amount of space. Well, if we look at the website that we had, we have at least, we need to figure out how many columns. We have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5, 6 columns. Let's go ahead and shoot for 6 columns. And actually, this is a table inside of a table in order to spread it out. But let's go ahead and go for 6. We're going to make 6 columns out of this. So we need to tell it that we're going to make 6 columns. So we do this by typing in call span. TD space call span. This was on the quiz, if you remember correctly. So I'm going to put equals and I'm going to say 6. Okay. And then it'll know that it gets to span across 6. So we need to go ahead and put in there I'm going to go ahead and put inside of there an H1 tag because I want to announce this is my website. So I'm going to go ahead and name it the same thing that I named it in my title tag. Website slash, don't forget to end that tag. And then after that, I would like to go ahead and then I'm going to insert a new table row. And the next table row I'm going to have is for my navigation. If you can see right here, this is my nav bar. So this is what it's going to look like. Up here is my header. It's my heading. And that table row is for that. And this is going to be my nav bar. So I'm just going to make a new table row. And in the first one, I'm going to go ahead and put in here table data. Okay. So what I can do is I can just begin. I can start putting in my information. Now I don't need to put any kind of special heading tag or p tag on this because I'm going to make these into links. So I'm going to just go ahead and start writing it out. I'm going to name this one home. Don't forget to end that. /td. Okay, and then I want to put another one in there, td, and I'm going to say about, and you do the same thing. And td, MySpace favorites, and then I'm going to put in here like that, and then td, contact me. I could put it in caps, I guess, /td. Okay. So then what do I need to do? I need to end that table row. So I do the end table tag. Okay, so there's that part of my table. And then I need to go ahead and announce that there's going to be some content here. And this right here is actually a table inside of a table. There's another table inside of here. But I need to make space for that other table. So I'm going to go ahead and announce that there's a new table row. And inside of that, I'm going to put in a TD. This time I'm going to not only say there's a call span, because it's going to be 6. Equal to 6. Don't forget those quotation marks. But also I needed to give a space and say row span. And I'm going to just guess. I'm just going to say row span equals, let's say 15. Okay, and what that does is it's telling the table that there's going to be not only a column span across here that it's going to merge those cells, but it's also going to merge them down in the rows. So in here, I can just say this is where some content will go. Okay, and then I'm going to do a /td, and then I'm going to do a /tr. So /tr. Okay. Now, one other thing here, we've put in a column span and we announced that there's 6 columns here, but we only have 4 right here. So it's looking for 2 extra columns or 2 extra cells that go across all of this here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We should make 2 more. It doesn't matter that they're not equal. Let's just go ahead and make 2 more, and we're just going to keep them empty. So we're just going to come up here, and underneath here we're going to say TD, and we're going to say space and then slash TD. And then we're going to do it again. Slash TD. Slash TD. Okay. Let's go ahead and save this. Command S or Control S, or just go up to File, Save As. And we've got our table, we've got in-text and everything else. Let's see what this looks like so far. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. Let's come over here and let's check out our index code. Okay, so we've got our heading, we have our links, which aren't linked yet, and then we've got our content. So what we need to do now is we need to style this. What we're going to do is we need to style the heading, and we also need to put some color and change the font, etc. So one of the things that I can do is come in here and let's see, where are you, text editor? Let's go ahead and open you up. And look at all that stuff we've already added to it. So let's go in and let's make our font. Let's do a font change. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do it at the upper level. So I'm going to go ahead and do it in body. And if you remember correctly, we just put a space there, and I'm going to put in style equals. Remember, you can put that on any tag, and then I'm going to put in quotation marks. So I'm going to say font hyphen family colon. And I'm going to go ahead and make mine Courier. Kind of looks like a typewriter. Now I want to add some more stuff too. But let's go ahead and leave it at that. Don't forget your end quotes, and let's see what happens. I'm going to command that. Let's go over here and let's go like this. Okay. So we've done that, and we can also specify size and that whole thing, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Let's go ahead and what we want to do is we want to, let's add some color to our table. So what we want to do first is let's go ahead and type in here. I'm going to go in and Google this and say hex codes, because if you remember, hex codes give us lots of colors that we can use. So I'm going to go over here, and there's a cool kind of color picker here. So I can choose kind of colors, and it tells me what hex color it is. But I kind of like looking at kind of like having the ability to see different colors. Again, that's not my favorite. Let's see. So anyways, you can use whatever one you want, whatever color picker you want. This kind of helps me, but I kind of want to do my header to be a little bit gray. I kind of like this action right here. This is easy, 88888. So I'm going to copy that, Command C. I'm going to go in, and I don't want to put it here. I want to put it on my table row. So I'm going to instead say style equals quotation marks, color, and it's background color actually, right? I remember this. Background hyphen color colon Command V, and let's go ahead and put in a little problem. Come over here, and I bet you we're going to get why. Yeah, it totally worked. Okay. So another thing we want to do is we want to need to specify the size of the table. So let's go ahead and put a table size of, we're going to put space, and we could put width, or we could also put style equals. Let's style equals width, colon, and let's go ahead and make it, we could make it 100%. So let's see what happens when we do that. Okay, and those quotation marks, and what it's going to do is it should span across the whole thing, and it did. But okay, so this is nice and neat and everything, but the problem is that all of our links span across there because it's just betting on it. It's just doing as it's told. What we want to do is we want to make all of these come back over here. Even though we've got this spanning out here with all this content or possibility of real estate and content right here, we want these to span back. So what we're going to do is See where we have this table row? Inside this table row, yes indeed, we are going to put in a new table. What we have to do is we have to also specify a new cell. We need to say in there, we're going to put in a new table in that cell. And then in there, we're going to put in all the other TDs like we had before. Okay, and in there we don't need the whole call span thing. We don't need all of those links. So what we want to do is we still have TDs, but we have to, all table data has to have table row first. So what we're going to do is then we're going to come over here, we're going to end that table row, and then we're going to end that table /table. And then if you look, so this table row ends beginning table row, end table row, beginning table, end table. We have all the links or the cells in there. And then we have a TD here, so we need to end that TD now. Got to make sure that everything evens out. And then we already have our end table data there. So this should, what this is going to do is this is going to make all of these links go back over here. So they're back crunched up there. So let's hit refresh and see what happens. And it worked. Okay, but they're all totally crunched up. So what I want to do is I want to put a little padding on there. The way that I have to do this though is I have to do this through, the best way to do this is through by after setting up my links. So let's go ahead and set up links for all of these. So let's go ahead and do an ahref equals quotation marks. And this we just do locally because it's all going in the same folder, and that's how websites are anyways. They don't have http:// they just have the local name. So I'm going to name this one index because that's what's going to bring us back to this page, right? And don't forget, we have to do that in tag/a. And then same thing with about. Well, we're just going to name that page ahref equals about.html. Now, a word to the wise, keep the naming conventions simple. About works, not about Kelly Cockrell, who was born in Dallas, Texas.html. Now, you just need to keep it nice and simple because you're going to be naming new pages this exact name. So then we're going to go like this. Let's go ahead and post and put in another one, ahref equals, and we're just going to say this is favorites. So I'm just going to say faves.html. Quotation marks, and then close that, and then don't forget to close this. Oopsies. /a, and then one more with contact me. ahref equals quotation marks contact contact.html, and then into that tag /a. Okay, I'm going to save that. Let's see. They should be underlined now. Yep, they turned into links, but when you click on them, it goes to nothing. It's because it's looking for a page called contact.html or about.html, and we haven't made those pages yet. So we'll make them, and then they'll go to them, right? So it looks like this one is the default color for visited. So that one was already visited. So already looking super cool, isn't it? Okay, next. What we need to do now, though, is we need to space these out. And the best way we can do that is to pad it a little bit. So let's see here. The best way to do this is I'm going to put a little padding on the cells themselves. And I'm going to say TD padding. I'm just going to go ahead and start off with -left, so, and I'm just going to start off with 10 pixels. Okay, that's all we have to do. And an easier way to do this instead of typing it all out. Oopsies, I forgot to do something. What did I forget? My quotation marks. And guess what else I forgot? Style. Ugh, style equals. Then quotation marks. So then what we can do is we can go in and go like this and just copy it. Command C or Control C. And then just go in and go V. Put a space there, put a space there, Control V. And put one more space there and Control V. Now it's going to pad all of them. Command S, hit refresh, and if you can see that they kind of moved out. I'm going to add a little bit more padding. The other thing is over here, if you look, I don't really feel like I want this to start out over there. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and let's go on ahead and let's take the padding off this. This one doesn't need padding because we're talking about padding left. right? Padding means that it gives it a little space there. Everything left. You can do padding right. You can just do padding. It does top, left, right, bottom. But let's go ahead and give it a little whirl. Oops. Oh, darn it. Okay. Let's get rid of this sucker. Delete. And then let's go ahead and make this one. Let's make this 15 and 15 and a 15. Command S or Control S, hit refresh, and that moves over. Still, there's not a lot of padding after about.html. Something happened there. What happened? Oh, misspelled it, no wonder. See what it does when it's not spelled right? There, that should spread it out. Okay, that's not bad, and we may want to go back to that later, but for now, that's good. Oops. Okay, so I would like to put some color in that nav bar now. So I'm going to go ahead and put for that tables row, I'm going to put style equals background color. You want to do background color, not color yet. Background hyphen color, colon. And let's go ahead and choose a quickie color. I kind of like the blues, but you know, that teal might be nice. Let's see. Let me move this over a little bit. Oh, come on now. I kind of like this one right here. It's nice and kind of mellow. 6666 CC. So let's just go in and just add that in. So I'm going to do hashtag. Don't forget your hashtag. 6666 CC. And then in quotation marks. And Command S. And then let's see what happens. Oh, that's not it. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to move this back over so you can see it. And I'm going to hit refresh. Ah, nice color. It is pretty. But again, this is kind of ugly. Well, it's not ugly, it's just you can't see it, right? And there's no reason of putting something up if you can't see it. So, oops, wrong one. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to go ahead and go back in there and I'm going to change my color to, I'm going to make it white too. So what we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and say, Ahref equals that, but then I'm going to put a space here and I'm going to say space because I need to style this now. That part is not so I need to tell it to style equals, and then we're going to say quotation marks, color, colon, and what do we have for white? Pound FF, right? And then again, you can take this and we're going to Command C it. We need to put it after that and put a Command V. Command V, and Command V, and I bet you, Command S. Let's hit refresh, that should work it. Yep. All right, looking super cool still. All right, let's take a break. Stop screen